Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
We're live on YouTube?
Yep.
Danko.
Are we? Oh, snap.
Yeah, we're there. We're there. Yo, man. Mulibwanji, Mulichani. How are you doing? Wherever you're watching us from. It's the one and only Brandon Jones from the #1 podcast in Malawi, Podcastmalawi. The last time I was in Zambia, I was with Wanzianji Mwalwanda.
Okay.
I led your personality. I was
Okay.
like, yo, man, there are two people that I want to meet.
Uh-huh.
Pompey and Abel.
No way.
Yeah. I was like, man, I cannot do that. That's too much to ask for. I was like, yo, we are in Chikabwata. We're having a good time. I just want to meet these two people. And I'm here for a month. Tell me, this is possible. Like, no, man, it's not possible. You can see Airboys performing in a coffee shop in the UK. I was like, okay, fancy much. Fancy much. And Pompey is somewhere in the world doing a master's degree. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me be a creative with no degree and have a good time in LSK.
Yeah.
And I did.
You had a good time?
I had a good
They
time.
took good care of you.
They did. Almost did.
Hey, what happened?
They didn't connect me.
Oh,
Or you guys were outside of the country.
all things work together for good. So look,
yeah?
here we are, man.
Here we are, man.
Yeah.
I'm very glad, man. A groupie. of all
Man,
sorts.
come on.
I swear down.
I
I
appreciate
swear down. So it's Brandon Jones, Podcast Malawi, and today in the building we have Abel Chungu, the one, the only, the Abel, the myth.
it. Boy.
So first time hearing about Abel Chungu personally was when you featured on a track done by Geoff Gospel.
Wow.
Am I in the knees?
Oh, yes.
That was back in the day,
Yes,
man.
yes.
Bro,
Yeah.
that was way back.
That was way back. That must have been like 2010.
2010.
Yes. So I've been coming to Malawi since 2019, man. Yeah.
Damn,
2010. So sorry, 15 years. Of
15
coming to
years.
Malawi.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Now
Yeah.
that's been like, I was like, this guy has been coming. What's fascinating? Why do you like Malawi so much?
I am so close. You know what? This is the people. I actually had, because Gio now lives in the UK.
In the UK, yeah.
But when I've been here, his parents have come to my shows.
Damn.
You know, and they came even to the recent one when they did the Lendo drop. And so I actually had lunch at their house. Yeah. So the people in Malawi are always the best, man.
It's home for you as well.
Yeah, very much. I'm still waiting for my plot.
Which one? Which one is this one?
I need the house. I just need a house. I'm like, guys, it's about time.
No, man.
Yeah.
Come on. So Abel also performed at Gio's sister's wedding.
Yes, I did. Very huge culture show.
Yeah.
Very
My
huge culture
favorite song from his album, from the time that I knew him, Father's Child,
Wow.
was the entrance song.
Thank you.
You played that song acoustic.
You have no idea. I played that song in front of the president of your country. And I got prayed for by the president. And all I can say is, I can now retire from you.
I can now retire.
I can now retire, man.
Listen to you.
Yeah.
Listen to you. But growing up in Zambia, making music, and also doing Christian music, what has been the experience, man?
It's been a quite an interesting journey, you know. I think for me, I've always been a bit different from everybody else, in the sense that I don't go looking to be different. But my entry point was a very, very different experience. I got called into it through street evangelism, right? I was doing street evangelism, and I had an encounter with somebody on the street one night, and I didn't know what to say, so I sang them a song. And the moment that happened, like, that person gave their life to God. And I was telling the Lord, I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do this for the rest of my life. And I want to feel like this, the way I felt like every time.
Yeah.
And that's when I felt like a genuine call to do what I do. So over the years, even if you've been to any of the concerts, I am quite a storyteller, but I would always tell stories of, I've been in moments where people have pulled knives out, I've seen guns, because I also lived in Oklahoma, so we do street evangelism there, downtown Tulsa, where there's gangs. I've lived in a house with a guy who used to be at one point second in command of the Latin Kings, which is one of the biggest gangs in thingy, and hearing his testimony. So my entry into music or Christian music was never with the idea of I'm trying to please the Christian audience. I was always thinking about the person who doesn't go to church, the person who's not churched or doesn't have a relationship with God. That was always my point of how do I make this music reach them? Yeah.
So I think from the time that I'm talking about when I started listening to music from Geo, then I saw a lot of collaborations with Pompey, Loda House in general.
Yeah.
You did the Chiporoporo anthem.
Yeah.
What's the Christian environment like in Zambia? Because when I came, it wasn't all Christian-y. It was just me in Zambia having a good time.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's very different genres. You know what I'm saying? The Christians have their following. They have their concerts. People come out for their concerts, and then of course what they would say the secular audience has their audience, and then I like to say there's a place called mainstream, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not. I like to say there's a place where I don't like to call anything doesn't just automatically do gospel music. I find it like there's a mainstream, right?
Yeah.
Where people who make music, like just they're great musicians. Some of them are jazz. Some of them are what? What category? We're just gonna say like guys who are doing instrumentals and having a good playing very well. Are we gonna say secular music?
Secular guys.
Because I feel like secular, it's always considered like anti-God, right?
Yeah.
And there's music which is like that, which doesn't align with anything that God would condone, right? So I've found that sometimes even when I write gospel music, like love songs, like Extra Time or Ichitemwiko or what, people say, oh, you're doing secular music now. I'm like, no, that's not secular music. Who told you? It's like, no. And it becomes a debate because they're like, no, love songs. I'm like, and my argument is always the same. I'm like, no. I'm like, why should we consider music that is purely talking about a relationship between a man and a woman, which is something that God instigated?
Yeah.
Like he started this whole thing
God
of men. Yeah.
Mm.
From the beginning, man will leave his parents and then cling to his wife. That's like the first thing he says when he makes man, right? Because he's the one who's, and somehow along the way, any music that talks about that relationship is not of God. I'm like, I refuse to believe that.
How come?
Because you know what I'm saying? So somehow we just gave up certain things, certain topics of discussion to the world. Meanwhile, if you open the Bible, there's a book of Songs of Solomon, which expands on that. So I feel like there's people who are, yes, they can make mainstream music, which is widely accepted, but they are vessels and people who are doing God's work, who at the end of the day, they know their limits. Like, nah. I'm not going to go say, drop it low video, just because I'm trying to get people to get, no. There's an art, there's a gift, there's a way that they're telling their stories. And I think those people also need to be honored. So there is that's what I'm saying, there is that audience, right? So I found like, for me, why I'm saying a bit different, because I find myself a lot in mainstream. Like a lot of my bookings come from mainstream, like where people want you for private events, their events. I remember one time I was one of the headlines for Oktoberfest, which is like, I don't know if you guys do that here in Malawi, but that is like beer festival. Like people, like it's a celebration, right? But I'm even asking the organizer, I'm like, you guys know the songs I'm coming to? Like, yeah, when we did a survey and we said, who do you guys want?
This guy.
They picked you. And so I remember that day, even like my guys pumping them, was like, dude, we're going to follow you and we're going to pray for you backstage. We believe God is using you, but the attack was heavy. A lot of churches banned us, blacklisted. But that day, I remember we got on stage and midway through some point, the crowd started chanting. They wanted the worship songs.
Damn, bro.
And we're doing like the fast-paced song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, we want
and they're like, nah. And then we switch. They're like, all right, this is what y'all want.
Yeah.
Bro.
It was fire.
There was tears, my G. There was tears. People came backstage and like, I just need to talk to you. And you realize like a lot of people are just, they're broken, man. The people are going through a lot and they just need it. And that's where they encounter God. So I've always seen that side as in where I want to make music. Yeah. And, it's sometimes it's not easy. But I do appreciate, like, I'll share, I've done Oktoberfest and that same thing. I've shared the stage with some of the biggest gospel artists, whether it's Kirk. I think I was here on tour with Maverick City.
Yeah.
Kirk. So I just love music, but at the same time, I know what my calling is. Yeah.
Was there ever a point where you're conflicted as a person as well? Like, I'm for this calling and these people are saying that I cannot mix, but then you know what you're doing, but you're not sure just because the cloud, that crowd noise is saying otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, look, I will honestly tell you, it is, it's not easy. It is, there are moments that are painful, right? There are moments that are painful because you just don't fit in specifically into anything, right? And it's not like you don't know, but it's just, so there's this thing that I generally feel like there are people who are also gospel mainstream, like they're manufactured just for the church.
For the church.
So oftentimes what I feel like we need to start have a kingdom mentality, and the kingdom mentality is generally where we are of the mindset that we need people everywhere. We need cameramen. We need guys who do podcasts. We need DJs. We need people who everywhere and finding that they have a purpose, right?
Yeah.
But I think what we've done is, so for example, in churches, let's just say you're a rapper. Most churches don't know what to do with a rapper.
What is this?
Let's just say you're a DJ. Is like, where do you DJ? Where?
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about? So you see the problem that we're facing. So the problem is there's many people, I might be confident, but I think about like, what if people who have other gifts? And they think like, and so what we've found most of the time when people who have these gifts, they end up going to what we consider the world to use their gifts because the world already has a platform like, oh, you DJ, we've got a place.
Come.
Oh, you guys are a live band. Oh, don't worry, you can play in our bar, right?
Yeah.
And you find most places where guys that live band are playing that, all of them are they train from church. So the church needs to see itself more in the wider as a body, right? The body takes everybody. If I show up to, why I say kingdom mentality, if I go to the United Kingdom, I'll walk in and from the security to everybody to the banks or what, it's all under the umbrella of the kingdom in service to the monarchy. And the king, Charles, is the head. In our kingdom, we know that Christ is the king, right? So all of us are in service to the will of God, right? Yeah. And that's what I would like to have. And even like my new project, which I just finished, is titled Kingdom, because that's the purpose. I'm trying to bring in this teaching, this mentality of you need to see yourself as part of a bigger plan. Because there are too many people who, I work on Sundays, I don't go to church. Does God have a plan for me? Yeah, God does have a plan for you.
Yeah.
You might be working in it right now. Because you don't feel useful to a church, you feel like you're not useful to God. And we need to start bringing people in closer and closer. And this is why I'm glad that some churches have, cell groups and different things to meet people like, okay, to realign them with the vision, that the vision is beyond just using people for your building fund or different things. No, their purpose for much greater. If I make music, don't just see Abel as if Abel's not leading worship in a church, then he's not singing for God. No, like there's so many people, man. Like I meet so many, even because it's secular artists. Many of them will, if they're honest with you, they'll tell you that when they started music, they initially felt like God was calling them to sing for them. And then somewhere along the line, something happened and they just feel like, let me go. I was accepted, or this is where they gave me the platform, when these are the ones who said they were playing my music. And sometimes it's also a feeling of rejection.
Yeah.
Rejection, and then you end up in the arms of something that you were never intentional about, and now you're comfortable there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I remember back in the day, I think that was around 20...
Sorry, my answers are long-winded.
No. I love that. I love stories.
Yeah.
As a podcaster, that's what I love. I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day, I was also in the midst of the CHH in Malawi.
Yeah.
That's where when people are doing events, I was in the midst of that. But there was a point where there was a debate amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? As a Christian artist, you're not supposed to collaborate with secular artists.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big debate.
Yeah.
People like, I remember there was a lot of falling off amongst Christians, because you were friends with that guy, you were not supposed to be, on the same track with this guy. But I've seen you on tracks with secular artists.
Yeah.
Was it different in Zambia, or it's a different thing for you?
Yeah. So here's what happens. I mean, it's there are people who have come against it, and some of them were in the same industry are like, no, that should never happen. A gospel artist should never mix with a secular artist. That should never happen. And I've done collaborations with what many people have brought up, and since we're being 100, this is a podcast. I've done collaborations with a duo called Chandanake.
Yeah.
And then I've done a collaboration with Chef 187. I had him on my album for a song called Isenge. And then, of course, the biggest one was with Your Maps, which is Try Again.
Yeah.
So, and that now brings the question like, why? As a gospel artist, would you do this? And the thing is, I've said this before, and I'll say this again. If you feel that a gospel artist shouldn't know it, or you are a gospel artist and you feel like, I agree with you. I agree with you.
100%.
I agree with you. And here's why I say I agree with you. But here's the catch. Here's why I agree with you. What is your calling? We don't have the same calling. What is your calling?
Your calling, yeah.
Because you see, the thing is, one thing I learned, remember when I started this, I said my calling was through evangelism. I know my gift. Bro, I can lead. It's not in a way of, but there's a gift. Anyone who's been with me, and and it falls on me, and I say, oh, God told me to go and talk to this person.
Yeah.
I would talk to that person, and 9 times out of 10 people will get saved. And 9 times out of 10, whether I find guys who are busy smoking, the twang and whatever, when I tell you these stories of being at the street at 2 a.m., we go with my boys and we're seeing guys come out of bars and people are half drunk. I remember one guy I was talking to, he's like, oh no, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. 20 minutes later, he got saved and he was speaking in tongues. From being an atheist, 20 minutes saved, speaking in tongues. This is not in a church. This is outside a club.
Yeah. Outside a bar.
So for me, I'm like, I get that a lot of gospel artists, their entry point was they're singing in church, bishop approves, pastor approves. Then, okay, maybe they've got an encounter, and great. And their audience is already in tune with what they believe in. My audience that I'm chasing after is not in tune with the beliefs. So when I sing, I am taking a message to their audience, the audience that for me matters the most. Chandanake's audience to me matters the most because they've got some songs which are very questionable. So I'm like, if that audience can hear just one message of God on that project.
Yeah.
You see, the problem is when you start picturing yourself as a gospel artist, then to me, sometimes you become a gospel entertainer. Now you're looking for your audience everywhere you go. I want people, can the church say amen everywhere? Amen. You want people that respond to you with your language, your lingo, your words, where you go. And I'm like, you need to know what your calling is. And that can only happen when you have an encounter with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Not just getting saved, but an encounter with the Holy Spirit, because now you have an assignment. So if you feel like, oh no, God's body shouldn't be like, that's you? That's how you feel? That's what God called you to? Then don't. Right? Yeah. Don't.
Yeah.
I had my conversation with God. I literally told God, I am going to mess up. I am going to embarrass you if you really calling me. Like, it wasn't like, oh yes, Lord, I'm ready. No, I'm like, you got the wrong guy. And God's like, no, I got the right guy. I'm like, I'm going to embarrass you. One way or not. And God's like, no, you will not. I will make sure.
I know what I'm doing.
And I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah. And so there's so many times that people are like, hey, well, and just every time God just like, even for me, I'm just like, God, I'm not that guy. And then God just does some amazing, I'm just like, why? Like, why am I so graced to do this?
Yeah.
And maybe that's the part, because I just don't feel like I'm the person, or maybe there's something about it that is in my heart where I see something that they don't see, right? And at the end of the day, they see something that I don't see.
Yeah.
And so, but one thing I don't want to be is, I don't want to, because why I'm saying I agree with them, and there's a possibility of truth, is because also I also don't want a bunch of young artists who are like, yeah, if I want to, yeah, I'm also like Abel. And then you're like, no, what did God tell you
to do? Yeah.
Now you just want every collaborate with every secular artist because you want to be relevant. Because that, again, I've also seen that. I've seen young people just want to be seen.
Yeah.
Like, I also want, but what they're chasing is not, they're chasing your level of fame or recognition without the work, right? Without the understanding, without the calling, without the gift, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? Because every one of us is unique. We're built different. You know, we have a call. So that is for me when I say, when people come and no, gospel artists to do that, I'm like, Okay. I get it. I get it. It has its moments of danger. It has its moments of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It has its moments where people are like, but why were you at this event? Why were they, like, the things I get invited to, you'd be surprised, man. Like, I'm just like, I'm the only gospel artist who's there. I'm just like, oh, okay. You know, because like somehow I've just become this mainstream figure at the same time. But the grace it's given me, the conversations it's given me the opportunity to have with people, the people I've gotten a chance to pray for, talk to, is also beyond me, right? But that's not because it was planned. It's also just understanding, like, okay, God is called. So you have to have a relationship with the Holy Spirit to know what you're called to do. Otherwise, you'll be chasing the same fame. Oh, no, I want to be a Yomab. So, no, I want to be a Tegri. No, I want to be KOK. No, I want to be... No, this person inspires me. And you're just like... And there's so many copycats in this industry. Just so many in terms of sound, in terms of you're just trying to recreate. And I remember that frustration that before I realized what I was is... Because you think you're making the same kind of sound as somebody else, you're getting annoyed because why am I not getting recognized? We do the same thing. No, these guys have a clique. That's why their things are, you know what I'm saying? But you don't know the story. You don't know the work. You don't know the call. Know the call, then come talk. Yeah.
Okay, now, remember how I told you that I love it because I have an a guest that I can chat GPT, right? ChatGPT says you got served at the age of 12.
Huh?
You got served at the age.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
It got all that information.
And you got served because you asked your mom or something like that. That's
so here's what ChatGPT doesn't know. Needs to update this.
Please.
So I asked my mom if I was saved at age 4.
4.
Yes. But when I was 12 is when I'm sitting in church and I'm like, am I really like, I kind of was understanding this thing called the gospel. Like I finally was grasping it. Then I was like, okay, let me just go up. Because I didn't even remember when I was 4. My mom was like, yeah, you asked me to lead you to the Lord when you were 4. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't even remember that. But when I was 12 is the day I fully remember myself actually doing it. Yeah.
And also, you did IT school.
Yeah, I did. I did IT.
Then you're like, you know what? I'm a Christian. I'm going to head out to Oklahoma and do Christian school.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was it like
I
in
went.
Oklahoma?
That was a very life-changing experience because prior to that, people would always tell me, it was a call that was after that encounter that I had. I knew that I had to go to Bible college. But one of the key things, I actually thought God didn't want me to do music when I went. So I had my guitar and no one would ever see it. It was my apartment. My pastor came to visit my college one time because he had been a graduate from there. And he said, hey, why are you not involved in anything? I'm like, I came here to study. And he's like, no, like, why don't you join the church choir or let people see what you can do. I'm like, the only guy who knew what I do was a guy called John Romick. He was from Colombia. His apartment is like right across mine. So he heard me playing guitar and then he came over with his saxophone and he's like, yo, can I join? And we started playing together, right? So when I started breaking out, now remember in Zambia, earlier prior to that, I had so many friends of mine who were becoming big artists. And I would ask them these questions so they were doing like vernacular. And I was asking them like, hey, you know what tips do you have? Because they knew I wrote my music, a lot of it in English. And they were very like, Zambians don't like people singing English. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah. So I felt really hurt. I felt like my music was not for that. Yeah. And it just so happens that I think my time in Oklahoma is when I realized the world would appreciate my music. Because I met people from all around the world, friends from Brazil, I made friends from Malaysia, people from America, and everyone there loved my music. And that's when I realized that my music wasn't, I was maybe thinking demographically, but I wasn't just allowing God to take my music and run with it. And that's what I did. I just said, okay, you know what? I need to think that my music, anyone from anywhere in the world would enjoy my music. And that's what changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, IT guy, music, and also Bible school in the mix.
Yeah.
What else do you do apart from ministry and music?
So I am also a humanitarian. I've been in my last album, which I dropped. We did it to help raise funds for Kayula Childhood Cancer Foundation, which I'm an ambassador of. So and then also I won a humanitarian award for my work with orphans. So I have an orphanage that I've been supporting for the last 10 years called Face of a Child Foundation. Yeah. So I love being humanitarian. Secondly, I'm also getting more into marketing because I think, when you start, one of the things, nowadays a lot of things are digital. Yeah. So companies are looking for more strategic, and when you're a creative, man, like you just don't know how much you have, right? Because you're engaging with people more, you've grown organically. So a lot of that has helped me. So one of the things we're doing more into venturing out into more tourism and trying to create companies in terms of helping the education system of Zambia.
Ah, dope.
Yeah.
Yo, give that guy a mic. I want to ask him a question. Ask him.
You want to ask me a question?
What do you want me to call you? Instigator or the other name?
Instigator.
Whatever name I say.
Okay, Mike. How old do you think this guy is?
Because I've seen him for years, I would think he's 40.
Bingo.
Yeah. Do you know why I asked you that?
I turned 40 last week on Friday, man. Yeah.
Wow. He put that on his Facebook. I follow you on Facebook.
Yeah? Oh, what's that?
They're putting up memes and stuff. I was like,
you must know my football history.
Yes. Now, what's this? What's what's behind this? Why do you look so young?
Why do I look so young? Yes. I think I don't know, eh? Well, one is I've never taken alcohol in my life. Maybe.
Okay.
I know people drink are gonna begin offended. Like, what? How dare you? No.
I thought you was gonna say good genes or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will say I have good genes. My parents, but I don't have any. Because I've seen the way they've aged a lot of people my age, right? And like I said, like I grew up around people who, most of my friends, different people I know have taken it, and I just never started. And I think there's a lot of things that can age you you know, without even trying.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, it's all, and also one of the things is I allow myself to have a creative mindset. Like I'm constantly creating. I still have visions, dreams. And also the things that I work with, I pace out in time. So when I do something, like I'll make an album for years, right? And I don't even realize that years have passed. Like, oh, I'm creating this project and I'm taking my time, right? I'm not in a rush. Like I'm judging, and I learned that very early when I was young. Like, don't be in a rush. Like there was a time I was 12 and I'll never forget this moment where your one group of your friends is like, oh, they want to go and chill. You kind of getting the idea that boys are starting to talk to girls. You're 12, 13, right? One group of your friends are going to try to talk to a girl. Like, oh, their whole day is like, yeah, waiting. That if she comes out, we're going to go to. And then one group of these guys are like, yo, Power Rangers is on. Let's go and
Let's go watch that shit.
And the good thing is, I went to watch Power Rangers.
Okay.
I allowed myself to
be a kid.
You know, I didn't try to do things too quickly. Like I didn't rush to, let's do this. Nah, let's go. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to a bar, what are we doing? We're playing pool. Okay, cool. Let's play pool. And that's all we did the whole time. And at the end of the day, and the thing is, no disrespect, but I think I've seen a lot of guys crash out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I realize now at my age that I've seen a lot of people pass away, man. And time flies, man. Like I don't even realize that time is flying. I've been on this trip and I don't know how many people I've met who are like, oh, I listened to music when I'm in high school. I'm like, man, you're a grown man. Like, this is a grown man with a whole beard telling me he listened to me as a kid. I'm like, yo,
what are you talking about?
Old.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And
I've listened to your music when we were young. And still here.
Yeah.
And you look like us.
Exactly. Because I'm nothing near 40.
I'm telling you, like I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
sometimes,
maybe you have money, because sometimes when you have money, you're not stressed.
You think?
Yeah, because poverty. There's a lot of stress in poverty, bro.
Trust you me, bro.
You have cash, so
No,
but you also grew up in
I
money.
would tell you no.
Yes.
If I tell you guys, hey, there was a time.
Across the world, my boy.
There was a time.
Yeah.
No, guys, I've seen poverty. I've seen.
Which one?
Trust you me. So I'll tell you this. One of the things I've seen in life is two things. I've seen life be good and I've seen life flip. Point where I saw life flip was, so when we were young, my dad was an ambassador to United Nations. So we moved to New York, moved back to Zambia. They had taken away his position and then they didn't give him his benefits till the day he died. I can honestly tell you, it's one thing, okay. One of the things is I appreciate the fact that man built a house. Because if it wasn't for that house, if we were not at renting, but there were times the bailiffs had come to possess that house. There was times when the only food you're eating is the food you're growing. We learned to farm in a yard.
Impa.
Oh, I don't know, except impa. Oh my gosh, never. So we learned to grow our own food. We learned to grow cabbages. We learned to if you little money that you have, like, okay, let's have chickens, right? And you're living in a proper neighborhood like this, but you're growing your own food, right?
Yeah.
We made friends with I remember just one of the things that I look back on, like, I have friends from all walks of life. And one of the things I remember we made friends from people in what you'd say a compound today, right? Like, imagine we're living in a whole yard, my yard. I don't know if you guys say my yard here, yeah? But we made friends in the markets. And some of those people, imagine they sold things like carpenter. You guys use carpenter. Yes, carpenter, eggs. We would have no food. My brothers would go into the market to borrow kapenta, and eggs, and then say we'll come and pay you back. So when I see a lot of things that people, like, I think money is I remember when I was one of the things. So what I learned to value a lot is relationships. I'm telling you, the worst of your times, relationships will save you. Right? It's the people that you know who come for you, who cover you, who protect you more than anything else. I am where I am today. There are times when even the industry would think, it's finished, it hasn't dropped any news track, but it's the relationships that I've built. They'll be like, oh, Abel, you're invited for this thing, what? And at the same time, when you're hot, now everybody's, oh, Abel. I still try to keep the same routine of hanging out with the same people that mean something. Yeah. I came here by relationship, right? Yeah. I met Rudo through Wendy Harawa, right? Yeah. And I met Wendy through another guy I'd built a friendship with called Levikson, right? From Uganda. So there's all these different friendships, and you can chill with these people. Wendy, we've been friends, right? And when you meet genuine people, they'll connect you with other genuine people. Yeah. So when I see people going through issues in life, or the problem is, I think a lot of times when people have money, they then hang out with other people with money, right? Yeah. Like, I get that thing, right? Oh no, these are my friends, and I'm like, and I see that, I'm like, are they? Like, so all my friends know this. Like, when Abel has money, like, you're not Abel's friend unless he's taken you for lunch.
Oh yeah?
Bruh, if any of my friends who have eaten together, like, I am the type of like, oh, okay guys, fine, where we're going to eat, right? So that is my thing, because I've seen what poverty looks like. I've seen where where people are asking you, like, why are you wearing the same thing that you wore yesterday? And just like, you just have nothing else to wear, right? You've got, I used to have these tropicals. I don't know if you guys called them tropical. Okay, so no, flip-flops. Yes, right? I don't know if you have a code name for it, right? So if you know flip-flops, they have that thing for your toes that goes through, eh?
Yeah.
And then and holds at the bottom.
That little thing.
Bruh, I'd wear flip-flops everywhere, and then they finish. They are finished now. That thing at the bottom has come out.
Yeah.
So now what you do, you take a wire.
Call them slippers here, right?
Yeah,
slippers. You take a wire, my friend, and then you now make a zipper. And you're walking, and people can just hear like something scraping.
Wow.
My friend, I learned with the tailors that can sew a shoe, my friend, like make it look like, the same shoe. And who's buying you new shoes when you can get your brother's? Your brother's shoes. Your brother's left you shoes. I'm like, have you seen these shoes? Like, nah. So, man, it's not, it hasn't been like, roses, but I appreciate. So I learned to appreciate every step of the way, man. Like I was in Dubai about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And I'm staying in a very nice suite.
Yeah.
And at that moment, when you post up pictures from there, you get all these people in the deal. Oh my gosh, hey, you're like
big man.
Like, I'm just like, and I realized, I'm like, this is concrete. In that moment, I thought, like, I would love to share this moment with people, friends. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, genuine friends. And that's what people should always remember. Like, have genuine friendships. Yeah. And you never see poverty. Yeah. Right? Because your friends will be there when you're broke. When you have money, you even laugh and say, hey, but Zona.
Yesterday.
You know what I'm saying? I have friends now who are wealthy. They're doing very well. They're big names. Some of them are great filmmakers. I remember there's a guy called Kenny. He's even got a movie on Netflix called When Can They See Us? Mm-hmm. And it was very big. Like, he's probably one of the most. He does so many shoots, he's sought after, one of the most sought after directors. Like he's always abroad or somewhere shooting. Kenny, I remember, man, there were times when we were just like, maybe for a straight week, we're doing some work and all we're doing is buying a loaf of bread and polony, and that would be our lunch, man.
Ooh.
So when you've built friendships and with people like that, man, in life, I think friendships for me are everything, man. I don't think when coming here, people buying you a plane ticket or coming here was just because of the musical abilities, because we've built a friendship.
Yeah.
We've had laughs. We've had people who, you have a good time, and I think people go out of their way to make you feel comfortable. Yeah, and I try to do the same for my friends.
Dope.
Yeah.
One last one.
Yes.
I have to make it brief. So you've had the privilege to experience the music industry in Malawi and also in Zambia. Of course, largely in Zambia.
Yeah.
What should we learn as Malawians from the Zambian music industry? Because we've seen how your guys are thriving that side. I know from a certain standpoint, people may think that we're also thriving, or maybe I'm also wrong. I think you guys are thriving, but what are the takeaways from your experience?
Yeah.
What can we learn from Zambian music?
I think what we need to be able to do, I generally feel like, so in terms of like, let's just say Spotify or different things, right? They hardly count us either as a demographic, as a listening audience, right? They don't really count as much, right? So I think we need to create a wider network between us that Malawian artists should come to do shows in Zambia. We should do shows in Malawi, like that. Because I think the quality of Malawian artists is amazing. Right? Now, I'm not going to do a Drake where I'm just like, Malawian artists, but better than Drake. No, but there's certain things that I love about Malawi. Your desire for live music. You seem to churn out a lot of artists who really, really like live music, right? There's a sense of, whenever I show up, maybe because I'm an outside guest, but I find you have artists who are there for each other's shows like crazy.
In comparison to
okay, in some do that too in Zambia. I personally am not a big fan of it because for me, this is just for me.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of like, oh, Abel, can you come and grace our concert or come and do this and that? Because also, one, I'm very particular about sound. I'm very particular about certain things. And also, I'm very much I want people to see you showcase you. Like, I want people to appreciate. I don't want you to be a filler or by the way, or can you come and give us I really want people to get that experience.
The full experience.
And so I lean more towards that, right? And so, and I think a lot of events sometimes drown out, people don't really get to see an artist for who they are because you've done such a big lineup, right, of different acts. But then again, it also shows support. So there's two ways it can work, right? So, I mean, how do you make it work? How do you make the audience also more engaging? Like last night, I went to watch this guy Praise O'Malley, right?
Yeah.
And it was nice because it was just a moment to watch him. Like, it was just nice. And then there was opening acts, but there wasn't a lot. But it was like, I'm like, okay. You're understanding the mindset of the artist. You're getting it. You like the presentation and different things. And eventually I'm like, oh man, let me follow this guy. I would love to listen to more of it. I'm in the car. Someone's like, okay, now I want to watch Bokachara. I want to sit down and be able to enjoy and listen to his music and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And I wish we had more fan bases that are very much dedicated to people, but also at the same time, because we've got small demographics, I think we also have fans who are going like, if this place and then that place and the same fans, and we're sharing a lot of different fans.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I really wish there's more showcasing, right? I really want to see showcasing of artists that we will say, okay, I got to see this person in fullest of their ability. And also organizers to honor everybody who's on the lineup. And I'm talking about everybody's on the lineup so that people can see you in the fullest, even the opening act. People be like, oh, that's what this guy can do with a live band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, I think, will make a lot more sense in terms of what we're going to be putting into these projects. You know what I'm saying? And get a chance to, just, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe I haven't thought about it. Maybe just because of time. But I would love to see more. And when you see more, you appreciate more. And at the end of the day, you can sit down and say, what can we learn from each other?
Yeah.
So with Malawian artists, I like how they're focused. I like how you guys make your moves. There's Malawian artists who do a lot more traveling than some of our biggest artists back home, right? They're just they make moves. And maybe it's because of that thing that you guys, you are so pushy on, we need to be seen. Right? And you do it so well, right? And then I think also we sometimes, maybe we get lazy because we've got this we've got a lot of there's got a lot more places, but somehow you guys make it work, right? And I love that, right? So I love that about Malawi, and I just hope when I'm here, there are times when I'm just I'll sit down with Wendy, I'm like, dang, you need to teach me some of the stuff that you do, right? I need to teach me how you make your moves.
Yeah.
And this, Gwamba or Kel, and those connections and sometimes come from Malawians, man. Yeah. Take Green, I know he's never here. You know what I'm saying? He's a very pushy, driven person, right? So and those are things that I think we can all learn from each other.
Yeah. Facts. Now, since Zambians are here, I would like to apologize for the statements that we made in the other show.
Statements about...
But it's true. But from his sentiments, it's true. But because we say that we have more, not talented, but...
We're talking about rappers. We're talking about the quality of the rappers or something.
We were just trying to push our people more, yeah? Comparing to Zambia, we have a much more polished sound, but you guys are doing better.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Yeah, we're saying business-wise, you guys are master the art of business, that you see your maps doing deals that no Malawian has ever done. That's the kind of situation. Unlike us, when we are there, we are giving our hearts, and we're just toiling and toiling. But in terms of the quality of the sound, we're arguing. And I think people in the comments were saying that maybe you haven't listened to more Zambian, maybe new sounds. Maybe because the one that we have consumed might be Mark 2, might be B1, might be Chile 1.
Yeah, but
might be a few.
The problem is, I have my heart out for Zambia, bro. For real. Yeah. I know the likes of K-Star, not because they release a lot of music, but because I follow them on social media. The Tifloa Tuesdays. I understand what art is like in Zambia. But now comparing to what we have here, we have more ammo, so to speak.
I mean, so this is why I said you guys have, and trust me, everyone has heard me say this. I said, I don't know who triggered it, but there was a desire to do more. I think it comes from the initial foundation. So what you celebrate makes other people feel like, oh, so that's what I need to do to make it. Somewhere along the line, you guys generally told yourselves, said, your music has to be of quality. Your music has to have some rhythm, has to have some mix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it won't get out. And that was a standard you guys set. Somewhere along the line, and I've heard even some of our biggest rappers say this back in Zambia. They said, to be honest, if you make your music too clean, this is for the hip hop.
Yeah.
Especially the Kopala one. And I've heard a big rapper say this, says, our people just won't accept a super clean song. So you need to just a bit of that roughness.
Damn it down.
Yeah, that even the mixing and mastering. My producers is very different. So Mag 44 or anything that if you hear Pompey's last album or different things, you'll hear there's a difference. Even guys in the second like, hey, you guys, your production is different. So it's basically would say I remember I went to Kenya one time. I had a friend of mine, Rebecca Dunn. She's like, she pulled her album back after she heard my album. She's like, it's like I had to realize that, I'm playing to the Kenyans. I need to upgrade. So even like last night, I'm listening to Praise's album. I'm like, oh man, dude, look at these. Listen to these rhythms, these things. You know what I'm saying? The guitar sounds, the melodies, the what? It's beautiful to listen to, right? But here comes down, the last thing I'll say is, how I'll break it down to you guys is I have this belief, and it's a theory, and take this with you. Music to me is like a mineral. Okay. Right? A mineral. And, if we think of music as an industry, right? I generally believe if you come to Zambia and you say, what is Zambia known for its mineral? Everyone say, copper. Copper. Copper is sought after. Everyone was like, if you're doing copper, if you're doing copper, you're making money. Yeah. Now, right now, there's starting to be a gold rush. But there's been people who have been dealing in gold and making money off it for years. But because like now people are catching on, they're like, oh no, there's gold. But gold never, it's not like gold was never there. Gold was always there. But our focus was on copper. And then there's emeralds. And then there's silver. Like there's a big things that happen. People are like, there's emeralds in Zambia. This is what I generally believe. Yeah. Music is the exact same way. Everyone's focus could be on copper. Yeah. And then you're just like, but guys, why aren't you recognizing the gold? No, but we want copper to make it. Copper is the one that we want to sell to the rest of the world. Yeah. And maybe the world is like, hey, we actually want to buy gold. So I'll give you an example. The artists that are touring right now from Zambia are doing Zamrock. The group called The Great Witch. They're touring the world. They have world tours. There's a girl called Sampa the Great. She was even nominated for a BET award.
Oh yeah, I know Sampa. Yeah.
Right, as well. Now, whether you say Sampa is she has a better management, her music is in FIFA, different things like that. A lot of Zambians don't know who she is. But if you ask them who's the biggest artist in Zambia, everyone will say Yomaps. Yeah. But you have a Zambian girl who's a millionaire, made great music, and her music in synced. It was even on Ozark, American TV show and whatnot. Zambian.
Pure Zambian.
But why are we not seeing her as much? Now, whether it's her music is at a custom tape, no, because that for me is the gold that's going outside of the country. Yeah, and until you figure out that you have gold, other people will come and buy it. A lot of our gold is going to other countries. Yeah. Dubai, I think, announced that they bought multi-millions worth of gold from Zambia. People are like, when did it leave? How? Right? You won't see something unless you value it. Yeah, true. There's this saying that I'll leave with that I'll never. It says, and I'm trying to say it well because but it's saying, you can never succeed in what you don't honor. Right? So until you people want Grammys, people want the recognition, whatever. And it's also that same lack of desire for multi-mixing and mastering maybe is also what hinders us, right? From seeing that copper recognized, because it's like, well, the world is looking for some quality gold and then we want to sell them copper. Yeah. And they're like, that's not what we're interested in right now. True. You know? True. So I remember even like my guy who does my mixing and mastering, he has state-of-the-art equipment. And I remember the first time when I took one of my songs, if you listen to a song of mine called Jennifer, it's a very well nice mastered. And he was like, He's like, one of the things that disappoints me is that no matter how much work we put in, what's going to be recognized is this. And he starts playing me Zambian music on his state of because he has this, he doesn't even allow anybody to know what he's got. But when he started playing it, we could hear that roughness in a lot of the music that we produce. But you check out the numbers, 14 million views, 8 million, 6 million views. Watch and I'm just like, someone is saying, yeah, this is the music. So, man, what can we say?
Yeah.
What can we really say? So if it's working for somebody, and I wish and I hope that more Malawians, maybe we should push for joint TV, like these Nigerians, they have these things on MTV, Niger top 10 hits. Maybe we should do more of Malawi-Zambia top 10, or you know what I'm saying? So people can actually be able to do more comparisons of music, right? So that, because our music is also very similar in terms of the storyline and the language. Our music blew big in Uganda because Buganda sounds a lot like a language called Bemba. I always heard Bugandan people speaking. I'm like, wait, what?
What are you
saying? I'm just like, the dialect is also the same, but it's like it's just completely different language. So yeah.
Man, somebody was doing this.
yeah, it's way past time. Yeah, we gotta go.
I'm very honored to have you here.
Hey, thank you.
And also, groupie.
Thank you.
Groupie. I have a lot of stories to tell, but time.
Yeah, we got time. Yeah.
I really hope that we are going to meet again.
No, I hope so. I definitely feel I'll be back soon.
And I'm thankful for your visit here, Podcast.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
It's a blessing.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Before you go, wasn't this the artist that you wanted for your thing?
For my...
For your thing.
Which one? Oh, yes. It's been him.
Okay.
Ever since ever.
Yeah, he has been talking about you for some time. Like,
are you serious? Man, I appreciate it.
I love your music.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's your first album, the Love Revolution.
Yeah, Worship of the Love Revolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first.
Yeah.
Yes, I still listen to that album.
Wow.
And Father's Child is my...
Yes. Yeah, oh, man. No, trust you me. The new album is coming. It is heavy. It is heavy. We put in a lot of amazing work. And it's going to be good quality mixing. So don't worry.
Amazing. Looking forward to that.
I appreciate it.
That.
Thanks.
It's been Podcast Malawi. It's been Abel, Chungu.
Appreciate it.
Next Tuesday. See you.
All right.